Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken ESPN commentator, has consistently defended Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's standout rookie, against critics and detractors. His unwavering support underscores his commitment to fairness and recognition of talent, regardless of race or background. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. In May 2024, Smith addressed criticisms suggesting that Clark's popularity was primarily due to her being white. He refuted these claims, emphasizing that while race is an undeniable aspect of society, it doesn't always carry negative connotations. Smith highlighted that Clark's prominence stems from her exceptional skills and marketability, not merely her race. He stated, "Caitlin Clark has done a phenomenal job turning herself into a story. She happens to be white, but also happens to be a terrific basketball player, a terrific person with a terrific family background with terrific marketability assets." Smith's defense of Clark intensified following a controversial incident during a game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. Sky guard Chennedy Carter delivered a hard foul on Clark, sparking debates about potential racial motivations. Smith condemned the foul and criticized those who might harbor jealousy towards Clark due to her race and rising stardom. He remarked, "There are girls, young ladies in the WNBA who are jealous of Caitlin Clark. She is a white girl that has come into the league. She has bursted onto the scene." The discourse surrounding Clark's treatment in the WNBA led to heated exchanges on ESPN's First Take. In June 2024, Smith and analyst Monica McNutt debated the media's focus on Clark and the WNBA's coverage. McNutt suggested that Smith could have spotlighted women's sports earlier, to which Smith responded by highlighting First Take's consistent inclusion of female analysts and discussions on women's sports. He asserted, "I challenge anybody to find a show on sports television that discusses women's issues, that discusses the WNBA or women's sports, that highlights and profiles female analysts more than First Take. It's been going on for years." Smith's advocacy for Clark extended beyond incidents on the court. When Clark was excluded from the Team USA roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics, Smith criticized the decision, emphasizing her potential to elevate the team's visibility and marketability. He argued that including Clark would be a cash cow for USA basketball, benefiting the sport's growth. Smith pointed out that only a few WNBA players have surpassed $1 million in career earnings, suggesting that Clark's inclusion could have financial advantages for the league. The debates intensified when WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes was accused of omitting Clark's contributions during broadcasts. Smith criticized Swoopes, suggesting that her failure to acknowledge Clark's impact could be perceived as bias. He questioned, "How do you talk about the Indiana Fever and mention a multitude of players and not one of them is Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, as a rookie, is leading the league in assists? How do you do that?" Smith's unwavering support for Clark highlights his commitment to recognizing talent and addressing biases in sports. By challenging detractors and advocating for fair treatment, he emphasizes the importance of evaluating athletes based on merit rather than race or background. His vocal defense of Clark serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges in achieving equity in sports and the necessity of confronting prejudices that hinder progress. In a sports landscape where narratives can be influenced by factors beyond performance, Smith's stance underscores the need for objective evaluation and appreciation of talent. His advocacy for Clark not only supports her as an individual athlete, but also contributes to broader discussions about fairness, representation, and the evolution of women's sports. As the WNBA continues to grow, the conversations sparked by figures like Smith play a crucial role in shaping perceptions and promoting inclusivity. By addressing contentious issues head-on, Smith encourages a more equitable and appreciative environment for all athletes, regardless of their background. Stephen A. Smith's advocacy for Caitlin Clark has not only ignited a fierce debate, but also exposed deeper cultural and societal tensions within the realm of sports. His ability to call out injustice and inconsistency in the way athletes are evaluated and treated resonates far beyond the basketball court. Smith's defense of Clark has catalyzed a much-needed conversation about the intersection of race, gender, and performance in professional sports, a dialogue that often remains underexplored. At the heart of this issue lies the fundamental question of how society perceives success. Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence is a testament to her extraordinary talent and dedication to the game. Yet it also brings to light an uncomfortable reality. how easily narratives can be shaped by external factors such as race and public perception. Smith's commentary forces audiences to confront this dynamic head-on. His pointed remarks about the jealousy and scrutiny Clark faces speak to broader societal patterns where individuals who achieve greatness outside their expected archetypes are often met with undue criticism. Smith's critique is not limited to the players and commentators who may display bias, but extends to the media landscape as a whole. His remarks challenge broadcasters, journalists, and league officials to evaluate their role in perpetuating these disparities. The coverage, or lack thereof, of certain players often influences public perception, creating a feedback loop where deserving athletes are either uplifted or marginalized based on factors unrelated to their skills. Smith's call for fairness and consistency pushes the industry to examine these implicit biases and strive for a more equitable narrative. A particularly striking aspect of Smith's defense of Clark is his insistence on accountability. By naming specific incidents and individuals, he moves the conversation beyond vague platitudes and into the realm of actionable change. This approach not only underscores the importance of addressing inequities, but also demands that those in positions of power reflect on their contributions to the issue. For Smith, it's not enough to simply highlight the problem. He expects concrete efforts to rectify it. His willingness to challenge even prominent figures within the sports community exemplifies his dedication to this cause. This advocacy also has implications for the WNBA as a league. Smith's emphasis on Clark's marketability is particularly relevant in a sport that has long struggled for widespread recognition and financial stability. By advocating for a star player like Clark, Smith sheds light on how the league can leverage its talent to attract a broader audience and generate greater revenue. His argument suggests that fostering inclusivity and celebrating talent across the board is not only morally right, but also a sound business strategy. Beyond sports, Smith's commentary taps into universal themes of meritocracy, representation, and respect. His defense of Clark becomes a rallying cry for fairness, not just in basketball, but in all arenas where bias and inequality persist. It's a reminder that greatness should be celebrated universally, free from the constraints of prejudice or societal expectation. In the broader cultural context, Smith's vocal stance symbolizes a push for progress. By taking a stand, he amplifies a message that transcends sports: the importance of recognizing and celebrating talent for what it is, rather than filtering it through the lens of preconceived notions. This cultural shift, championed by figures like Smith, has the potential to leave a lasting impact, inspiring future athletes to rise above bias and pursue their dreams unapologetically. Stephen A. Smith's fierce defense of Caitlin Clark extends beyond the realm of sports commentary. It strikes at the core of cultural dialogue on equality, respect, and recognition of true talent. What sets his stance apart is his refusal to succumb to the comfortable neutrality that often dominates discussions around contentious topics. Smith's bold, unapologetic approach resonates with audiences because it demands clarity and honesty, even when it challenges the norms within the sports world. One of the most compelling aspects of Smith's argument is his insistence on the individuality of Clark's achievements. Too often in sports, athletes are viewed through collective lenses, with their accomplishments framed by the broader context of race, gender, or league-wide trends. Smith disrupts this pattern by zeroing in on Clark's specific contributions as a game-changing player. He refuses to let her be reduced to a symbol or token, instead championing her as a singular talent whose abilities speak for themselves. This distinction is crucial in a world where systemic biases can sometimes overshadow individual merit. Smith's commentary also highlights the challenges Clark faces as a trailblazer in the WNBA. Entering the league as a rookie with massive expectations, Clark represents a new wave of players who bring both skill and charisma to the sport. However, with this visibility comes scrutiny, and Smith's analysis shines a light on the disproportionate criticism she receives. By doing so, he underscores the double standards that often plague athletes in women's sports. While male players with similar profiles are frequently celebrated and elevated, women, particularly those who challenge existing hierarchies, are often met with resistance. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith's take on Caitlin Clark hate? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.